Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in another Fortnite video, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to play better and also win in competitive Fortnite, and specifically here in the ROYALE. And for the first day, me and Tantrum actually ended up getting 115th place, so we end up winning $900. I believe it's split between us, so we had a very good day, and I want to give you guys some tips and tricks and show you guys exactly how we won, and some tips and tricks to improve your gameplay as well when it comes to competitive Fortnite and the Winter Royale. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I'm going to be giving away 2,000 V-Bucks. And if you guys want a chance to enter this giveaway, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel, turn on my post notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be entered into the giveaway. So make sure you guys do enter if you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so here in this gameplay, I was playing in the Winter Royale, and this was the first day. So for the first day for points, it was 1 point on elimination, and the only other points you can get is if you won. So you get 15 points if you win, and only 1 point per kill. There was no placement points whatsoever, which is kind of crazy because we got third place 2 games in a row off the first 2 games. So we didn't get any points for that. We ended up getting about six kills total. So we were really hurting for the first couple of games. But this is the game we absolutely went off. We got about 30 points in this game. I had 12 kills, Tantrum had 3, and we also got the win. So this was a pretty hectic, pretty intense game. So I really wanted to be talking over this game specifically just because it was very good, and we were able to get 30 points. We went from 7 points all the way to 37 just off this single game alone, which put us right back into the running, and we ended up winning the last game. And with the amount of kills that we had and the 2 wins that we got, we were able to place 115th in this Royale, and we were able to win $900. So pretty cool stuff. So I wanted to be talking and give you guys some tips and tricks on exactly what I was able to do here and exactly how you guys can improve and maybe win some of your games as well. So the biggest thing here we were doing at first, of course, the first spot is choosing a land location. There's a ton of spots you can land at. I would say the biggest one is you want to have a place where you're somewhat close to fish. Fish are probably one of the most clutch things in the game. Having fish gives you a lot of options, especially in the late game when it comes to the zones, because you have fish, you can sit a little bit further back if you want to, because if you have fish, you can pop it within literally I think it's like a second timer on it, and it gives you automatically 50 HP. So it's super easy to pop super fast, especially even if you get caught in gunfights, not even like at the end game. Maybe you get caught in a gunfight, you can easily get off 50 HP, which is a big make or break between who's going to end up winning in that gunfight. So a huge deal. Definitely you want to land somewhere where you can get fish pretty easily, and maybe a few chest spawns here and there, because the squad is a lot worse than in duos, because in duos you don't have to have that much loot. Solos you can have even less loot. So in duos you have to find something with at least decent loot and a place where you can fish. That's where I would recommend. There's plenty of different locations around the map. Just find one that suits you best. So next is going to be obviously the rotation. So when it comes to the rotation, it's very difficult because it really is based on the zone, but you want to try to find choke points on the map, and then you want to try to find ways you can avoid those and maybe run around them. And if you guys don't know what a choke point around the map is, a choke point basically is a point where there's going to be a lot of traffic, there's going to be a lot of people. So like in the middle of the map, there's going to be a choke point because everyone's going to be running through that area. So of course, it is a little bit different based on the zone, but there is going to be certain parts of the map that are going to be heavier traffic than others, and you want to try to find ways to kind of bypass or go around these areas so you guys don't get caught up and screwed when it comes to just dying stupid deaths, because that's probably one of the best cause and one of the most common ways people lose out on these tournaments and such is just dying really stupid deaths they shouldn't die to. And so the best way to do it is just to try to avoid the gunfight altogether. Sometimes it's not possible. You have people who try to grief, try to play stupid aggressive on you for absolutely no reason. So stuff like that happens, but like I said, there's not really too much you can do about it. But you can try to avoid it, but if you can't, then of course you're going to have to go into that gunfight. But avoiding gunfights is going to be the best way, because at least for me personally, the most kills that we've gotten were in that late game, in that end game. That's where I absolutely popped off. As you see here, I have 6 kills, and like I said, I end up winning the game with 12. So I got a ton of kills at the end of the game, and that's really your best bet. And today, or the day one that the tournament, the gameplay you're watching, of course, it was 1 point per kill and 15 points for a win. But all the other ones, cash cups, everything like that, it's going to be placement points as well. So playing for placement is going to be your best bet when it comes to getting a lot of kills, because at the end of the game, you can snag people off rotation, especially for those of you guys who play on controller. Just L2 people when they're coming out of the zone. Very effective. You get a lot of quick eliminations, a lot of easy kills, and it's just something that you guys should be trying to do, because when you're playing, the whole goal is trying to get to the end of the game as much as possible. And sometimes you do have to get a little bit creative, because say you're at the maybe one of the end zones, and then you have the next circle on the complete opposite side. The best way for rotations, in my opinion, is to loop around the side that has the least amount of people. So for instance, if you have the zone all the way, we got lucky here with the zone, but say if the zone was like on the opposite side, we would look to our left and then we would look to our right and see which side has the less amount of people, and then we'd rotate on the far length of that side. And when it comes to rotating, I personally like to rotate a little bit later. I mean, it really depends on the situation. A lot of it is situational, but I do like to rotate a little bit later, because at the end of the game, if you rotate too early, trust me, you're going to get shot from like 8 different teams. So you have to be very, very careful if you do choose to rotate early. So a lot of times when you rotate a little bit later, a lot of people are going to be distracted. A lot of people are already going to be fighting other teams. So it gives you a way easier chance and less chance of getting shot when you are rotating from zone to zone. So rotating late is probably a really, really good strategy. For the most part, you just have to be careful because of launch pads and just base where everyone's at. You don't want to get caught in the zone, but rotating too early is going to have you get pinched by multiple teams. So I would recommend, when it comes to those late zones, rotating a little bit later. At the the early zones, the earlier times, I would highly recommend rotating fast. But on the later ones, when it comes to the end game like here, I would recommend rotating much, much later, because you're not going to get shot from 8 different people who have max AR ammo. You got little Timmy in the back with the sniper rifle, and then you got little John with the RPG just spamming at you. And it's just not a good sign. You're going to be out of mats way too quickly. So that's going to be your best bet. So here's going to be, or I'm going to be talking about the end game. And so here, I'm telling you guys, high ground and height is going to be your best bet. And it isn't the easiest thing to get. And you have to be careful as well, because you have to be making sure you look at your material count, because it doesn't suit you any good to get high ground if you're going to be low on materials. So you have to be very, very careful when exactly you push for high ground and exactly the play you make. Because if you rotate to high ground way too early, what's going to happen is you're not going to have any materials after maybe a couple zones, because more than likely it's going to go a few times back and forth with the zone before the game ends. So you're going to be running out of materials way too quick. So you always have to make sure you're not pushing high ground too early, but also at the same time, if you don't get high ground whatsoever, you're going to get pinched by every single team in the lobby. And that's just also not a good thing as well. So you don't want to push too early, but also at the same time, you don't want to have high ground at all. So a really good strategy to use is on those last couple zones. If you see an easy opportunity to go for high ground, maybe only one guy's above and you're playing duos, then just go for a heavy push on top. Try to get the elimination on the player. If not, just ramp above them and then try to get some eliminations down the players below you. But be very, very careful and try to conserve as many mats as possible, because as soon as you run out of mats, that's just going to be the biggest L. And I think we lost about 2 games. I think both the first games we had 3rd place. We ended up really losing because we just got screwed on materials, which is fine because 3rd place is still a lot of points. But when it comes to the winner royale we were playing, placement didn't matter. It was either you had to win or get kills. So we did lose out on a lot of points, but other than that, it would have been a very, very good strategy for today, because in today's strategy, it depends on when you're watching this video, but this one's gonna be heavy placement. Day 1, you pretty much had kills. Day 2 is heavy placement, and the 3rd one's like a regular cash cup. Those are pretty much how it works. So this is kind of like the first time I've ever had like a W key type of royale. But as you can see here, I made a very, very good push for high ground, and a lot of you guys, I see you guys have to not be so concerned with pushing in zone, especially if you guys have floppers. Like I said at the beginning, if you have a lot of floppers, you can stay a little bit in zone, because it's better that you stay in zone and have less HP and have a lot of materials than have no materials and full HP. So you really want to prioritize getting mats over anything. I think that's going to be your best bet at the end of the game, because if you can get high ground and you have a lot of mats, even if you're low on HP, you're almost guaranteed high placement. So having a lot of materials over having a lot of HP is going to be the way to go in my opinion. And see here, I ran out of materials, which is not my fault. I really couldn't do anything about it, but it almost cost because this guy ended up having an RPG, but luckily I got over just in time and it didn't hit me, which was a very clutch situation because now I have max HP. This guy still has to get over, and I was able to finish him off with my P90 and get a 30-point win, which is absolutely insane. And with that being said, that's a wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do hit that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.